The following reenactment photographs were taken at the same place, at the same date, and approximately at the same time as the battle that occurred exactly 78 years ago. It was during the Battle of Norway that the German soldiers were ambushed by Norwegian dragoons at Kvisla Mill on the evening of April 20th, 1940. For the first time in almost 25 years, the snow and weather conditions were almost identical to how it was back in 1940. The photos was a result of a spontaneous photo shoot that took place during a visit to the city of Moelv together with the Norwegian army in 2018. We were invited along on their annual visit to the historical battlefield and the Norwegian positions at Lundehøgda. We were asked to talk about the German and Norwegian soldiers and compare the differences in weaponry, equipment, and military training, giving a better understanding about the tough and modernized enemy that their forefathers were up against in 1940. The Norwegian forces fought with outdated weapons and equipment, and for the most part very limited military experience, as the compulsory military service at the time was only 72 days, but serving only 15 to 20 days was not unheard of, and the military training belonged to a different era. As we were already dressed up in uniforms, we decided to take some photos. During a break in the battlefield tour, we headed off to a place nearby where the Germans were ambushed by Norwegian dragoons in April 1940. The Norwegian 2nd Dragoon Regiment had participated in the battles at Tungen, Stagene, Furnes, Brumunddal and Ringsaker, and now they were ordered to Åsmarka to block the back road to Lillehammer and prevent the advancing German army from bypassing the Norwegian main line of defense at Lundehøgda. The German push towards Åsmarka came quickly and happened simultaneously with the main attack on Lundehøgda. The Germans were pursuing the retreating Norwegian forces, and in the evening of the 20th of April 1940, the Germans approached the positions of the Norwegian motor machine gun squadron Åmot by Naroset. The squadron's rear guard was located further towards the city of Moelv and was comprised of one platoon commanded by Lieutenant Karlsveen. A heavy machine gun squad commanded by Lieutenant Karlsveen personally had established a good firing position at Kvisla Mill. A second heavy machine gun squad commanded by 2nd Lieutenant Gjøviken was positioned at Nysveen Farm about 200 meters further to the south on a hilltop overlooking the road. In order to avoid giving away his position too early, he was ordered to not open fire until Lieutenant Karlsveen opened fire from his position down at Kvisla Mill. At around 7:30 in the evening, a German foot patrol commanded by a Spies came marching up the road. The distance between the soldiers was notably short and was probably due to the rapidly fading daylight. As the patrol approached Kvisla Mill, they suddenly grew uneasy and slowed down, and the distance between them became even shorter. The stretch of road in front of Kvisla Mill, between the river and the steep hillside, now started filling up with German soldiers. Lieutenant Karlsveen had positioned his squad's Norwegian 7.92mm water-cooled M29 Colt heavy machine gun on the roadside next to the mill. Suddenly, the machine gunner, Private Magnusson, opens fire and sends a continuous salvo of machine gun fire sweeping back and forth across the road. Simultaneously, the heavy machine gun at Nysveen Farm, commanded by 2nd Lieutenant Gjøviken, also opens fire. It was Gjøviken himself manning the gun. The effect was devastating, and it was a horrible sight. Moments later, the air was filled with the horrifying screams of wounded German soldiers. This photograph was taken on the stretch of road next to the river, which 2nd Lieutenant Jöviken was overlooking from his position at Nysven Farm. It illustrates a German light machine gun providing covering fire for his fellow soldiers pinned down further down the road. The German machine gun team pushes forward. Nysven Farm sits on the hilltop to the right. Further down the road, the muzzle flash from a German mortar was suddenly spotted. A German 5cm mortar crew had moved into position and was now bombarding Nysven Farm, where 2nd Lieutenant Jöviken and his machine gun squad had taken up position. Lieutenant Karlsson, down at Kvistla Mill, relieved the gunner of his heavy machine gun and started firing at the muzzle flashes, forcing the mortar crew to change their position. The mortar crew tried to get back into position numerous times, but was pushed back due to the accurate machine gun fire. A photograph showing a German machine gun team suppressing Lieutenant Jöviken and his machine gun squad as mortar fire rains down on Nysven Farm. Even though the crew was under constant machine gun fire, the mortar fire was surprisingly accurate. Approximately 8 to 10 rounds went through the roof of the main farm building, causing significant damage. The civilians inside were saved by a large stone fireplace. Behind the cover of a barn, the Germans are planning their next move towards Kvistla Mill. Here a German machine gun team is providing suppressing fire towards the mill that can be seen in the background. Mortar fire is still raining down on the hilltop around Nysven Farm as the Germans move into position for an attempted push on the mill. The Germans were unable to advance further towards Kvistla Mill and were forced to retreat later that night. The volume of fire produced by the Norwegian dragoons was a hard and unexpected blow for the Germans. In the morning, Lieutenant Karlsson pulled his platoon back to the squadron's main position at Naroset. The following morning, 15 German soldiers arrived at Nysven Farm. They started ravaging and shooting through the windows. Two residents of the farm, Axel Nysven and his brother Torvald, were taken hostage and forced into the back of a truck. When Axel slipped and fell off the truck bed, he was immediately shot, as the German soldiers saw it as an attempted escape. The German force occupying the area was now, as far as Torvald could see, roughly 300 to 500 strong, accompanied by 3 field howitzers and a number of smaller 37mm guns. A lot of you guys have asked me to share more reenactment photos on this channel, since not all of you are on Facebook and Instagram. So I've tried my best to present the photo stories and make them as interesting and enjoyable to watch as possible. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, auf Wiedersehen.